The U.S. Department of Defense has effectively turned into a Department of War. Trump wants the name to reflect its full meaning. Not defense, but perhaps an all-out war that leaves nothing behind. This is the conclusion reached by many military and political research centers, because Trump did not stop at shocking Washington. He went further, insisting that this name is now more accurate and more fitting for the times. He says, "We do not only defend, we attack." Trump did not stop at the name alone. He accused America's rivals in the East, Russia, China, and India, of plotting a conspiracy. A conspiracy, he said, to stop America and to break its dominance. And in his own words, conspiracy means a coming war. The words were not empty. Europe received the message. France began preparing its hospitals for a wave of war casualties. Tens of thousands of wounded and dead. Field medical centers are being built as if war is tomorrow. Germany, only a few kilometers away, is reviving the debate on military conscription, investing billions to rebuild its army. Britain is pouring money into nuclear weapons and ammunition. The European Union is shifting priorities from economy and peace to rearmament and mobilization. On the other side of the world, the picture is different, but more dangerous. China is raising the banner of challenge, pulling in India and Russia. North Korea is brandishing its missiles. Iran is seeking its place in the Eastern Alliance. This scene is no coincidence. It signals a new phase, possibly the spark of a third world war. And for those who want to foresee tomorrow's scenarios, they need only to watch Trump carefully choosing the moment to sign the decision, declaring with clear words, the Department of Defense is no longer defense. It's a new name, the Department of War. It's as if he were telling the world, history is going backward. Since 1789, the original name was indeed the Department of War. And for more than a century and a half, America carried that title. After World War II ended in 1947, the name was changed. Today, Trump smiles confidently and says defense is a weak word. America does not only defend, America attacks. America wins. This is why we return to the real name, war. Even though the cost is enormous, just the name change may cost $1 billion. For Trump, the message is worth more than money. It's a message to the East, to the dragon, to the bear, and the tiger, 3 major powers. He says they're all conspiring together, all working against the United States. And so the world understood. This is an admission that tensions have reached the peak. Is this preparation of American public opinion for a major war? Trump repeats his phrase, peace through strength. But what the world hears is war first. In one moment, the mood changed. It was not just a piece of paper the president signed, it was a political bomb that could turn into military confrontation. And for Washington's allies, some of whom Trump repeatedly threatened to sell to Putin if they didn't follow his line on Ukraine, the reality is stark. In France, thinking about war has become more serious than in America itself. Leaked documents from the French Ministry of Health instructed all regional hospitals to prepare for March 2026. The date is specific, the timing precise, as though 0 hour is approaching. The numbers are terrifying. Hospitals must be able to receive 10,000 wounded, then 20,000, even 50,000 in the worst scenarios. This is not routine preparation, nor for a pandemic, nor for a natural disaster. It is for war. Doctors are training in battlefield triage, amputations, and mass casualty care. These are not preventative drills. They are rehearsals for real war. Germany, the heart of Europe's economy, home of cars and technology, is now rebuilding its army. For over 70 years, Germany lived under the shadow of World War II, fearful of rearmament. But Russia's pressure from the east and the war in Ukraine revived old fears. The plan is unprecedented. Every young man turning 18 will receive a personal questionnaire about fitness and willingness for military service. The initial goal, 20,000 new soldiers in 2026, and 40,000 annually by 2031. If numbers are not met voluntarily, conscription will be mandatory. Funding 100 billion euros up front, record-breaking in post-war German history. The rearmament program stretches through 2041. New tanks, modern fighters, missile systems, cyber capabilities, all being built. Germany is no longer just an economic power. It's becoming a military power. Britain, too, is racing. The new government cut foreign aid budgets and redirected billions to defense. Defense spending rose from 2.3% to 2.5% of GDP. A small percentage, but huge in absolute terms. Projects are clear. £15 billion for nuclear warheads. £6 billion for ammunition. Plus £1.5 billion for continuous production lines to keep factories running day and night. The Strategic Defense Review of 2025 says it plainly. Britain must always be ready. Its nuclear deterrent renewed, its stockpiles full. Factories are working non-stop. Ammunition, shells, missiles, all to be ready for the 0 hour. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said bluntly, we must be ready. Across Europe, the same trend. Poland spends 4.7% of GDP on defense, the highest in Europe. Its army is swelling with new tanks. South Korean armored vehicles and advanced fighter jets. Denmark raises its spending to 3%. Sweden, abandoning neutrality after decades, spends 2.4% and joins NATO. Even Spain and Belgium, long content with diplomacy, are building stronger armies. The European Commission announced an unprecedented €800 billion plan for defense, with massive loans and military industry expansion. Europe, the continent that birthed the European Union on the ruins of war, is once again living in its shadow. In the East, another alliance is forming. China, Russia, and India are leading a new multipolar system. China, an economic giant, a rapidly expanding military, hypersonic missile tests, space programs with military applications. Russia, despite the Ukraine war, its economy resisted sanctions, its army reorganized. Putin appears with Xi and Modi, declaring, "The West will not isolate us. War has made us stronger." India, the demographic giant, joins openly, smiling, hand in hand with Moscow and Beijing. Others join too. North Korea with weekly missile tests and nuclear threats. Iran seeking its place in the alliance. Together they represent over half of the world's population, vast economic power, and growing military strength. This is the new global reality. Trump renames his department to the Department of War. Europe rearms collectively. The East forms a rival bloc. These are not coincidences. They are the opening acts of a potential Third World War. Some hope it won't come. Others believe it is inevitable. The world is heading toward a dark age, one that recalls the decades with battlefields stretched from the Atlantic to the Russian border. The future carries one haunting question. Are we ready